Red Raiders, entering in 5-11, are taking on a team that actually has the winning record, 9-7, entering the Mustangs of Strongsville High School. We're going to send you right down as we get a little bit of a late jump to this one, so not too much of an introduction. Shaker Heights batting first on the road here today. Michael Coxon, the first guy up in the batting order due to Casey Robinson getting a late jump to getting here due to AP testing. We're in that time of the year where scheduling becomes a little bit difficult for coaches because, well, you have weather difficulties. This game was originally set to be back at Shaker Heights, but if you are a Shaker Heights baseball fan, you know that that field can get messed up with one drop of rain, and, well, today it was pouring. So it's quite deformed, and we'll see how it holds up tomorrow, considering it's supposed to be a lot more heavy, that rain. We can imagine that game wouldn't take place. And if that's the case, well, we have Wednesday open for, I believe, both squads, so they can reschedule it to that day if needed. Michael Coxon to get things started here, number 4 on the back of the red jersey. Shaker Heights in their red jerseys. They're going to have red caps when they're out in the field and then white pants underneath. First pitch to Coxon. He'll send this one over to the shortstop. He'll ground it up, and the throw on to first is in time with an extension of the first baseman. 1 pitch, 1 out goes Michael Coxon, and good start there for the Mustangs defense. Aaron Neiman, who's typically in that 3 spot behind both Robinson and Coxon, is now here in the 2. Michael Coxon whispering something into Aaron Neiman's ear, maybe a little bit of strategy early on. He's already seeing something out of the starting pitcher here today for the Mustangs. If that's the case, maybe Shaker can get a little bit of an early jump on offense. Aaron Neiman swings at this one, sends it over to the first base side, and 1 pitch, 1 out goes both of the first 2 guys. Strongsville off to a beautiful start. Thabita, not too high of a pitch count through the first 2. Behind Aaron Neiman brings Braden White, again, typically in that 4 spot. Really, head coach Stephen English is just really moving those guys up in the order. Casey Robinson is in the starting lineup, but he's way at the bottom. He's number 9 there. Taking is Braden White for strike 1. 0-1 to start things off to number 11 in red. Shaker Heights needing to get bat to ball, but actually hit a gap. This one low and in tight. Behind Braden White would be Leo Pevnik in the 4 spot. Once again, your center fielder in today's game with Nate Landever still out. This pitch sent down the third baseline. It'll roll foul. And with the dead ball, we're going to have a 2-strike hole on Braden White. Thabita only to 4 pitches. Or excuse me, 5 pitches now. 4 of them being strikes. It's a 1-2 count on Braden White. A lot of wind coming in from the outfield inside, so not a whole lot of wind helping out Braden White if he wishes to get a home run. But this one he'll send right up the middle. It's through for a base hit. 2 out, single here for Braden White. He'll round first, but stay content over there on the right side of the infield. And so 2 outs. Braden White, as we've said over and over this season, he is a guy that isn't just power anymore. He's making good contact, and though we have seen a lot of good power out of him with the 2 home runs in that Medina game on the road, well, he's just doing a lot better at getting those hits, and his average shows it. First pitch to Leo Pevnik is fouled back into the near side netting behind home plate. Isaac Lazar is in the 5-hole, and in the on-deck circle going to go ahead and grab it, though it looks like it escaped out into the Strongsville bleachers. White taking his lead off of first. 2 down, 0-1 count here to Leo Pevnik. 0-0 scores. We're just getting started. This next pitch inside. Leo Pevnik takes it. Didn't even look like he was thinking about that one. Good hold from the sophomore. And we'll see when we finally get those other guys in. We're aware that it was all Casey Robinson, Eli Stolfus, and Quinn Malone. Here, Leo Pevnik was asking for a late time, but he won't get it. And he'll watch strike 2 go on by. Bit of a high strike, but very, very fair. Elbow level. So it's a 1-2 count once again to Pevnik. White with the lead. He'll extend that lead. This one down low in the dirt. Good work by Kuar to keep it out in front. Braden White typically won't run, but we can imagine here he might, especially if this goes full on the next pitch. Here's the pickoff throw. Over to Farkas. Farkas keeping it in front of him. Back in safely is Braden White over at first. 2 down, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Leo Pevnik. Number 3 on the back of the red jersey. Here's the kick in the offering, and Pevnik will take this one outside. We go full here to the sophomore, and now you can imagine Braden White will be running from first. Typically, that's the strategy. There's no point in not running if you're Braden White. And indeed, he will get the good jump, and this one's right down the middle for strike 3. Leo Pevnik made the motion at first. He thought he drew the walk, but indeed, Thavida gonna pick up out number 3 as a K, his first of the ball game in Shaker Heights. Unable to put up any runs early on, so we'll see how they approach this one on defense. Wesley Lewis, your pitcher, coming out to the mound. We'll tell you more when we come back for the bottom of the first. Murphy Kelly, the first batter up here for the Mustangs in the leadoff spot here today. Number 3 on the back of the green jersey. The Mustangs out here in the green hats, but dark forest green batting helmets when they're up on offense. Black jerseys and the white pants to complement. Here, Wesley Lewis, your starter here today. Coming into his sophomore year, he's had a little bit of a rough go this season about midway through. This one not going to catch down low. Wesley Lewis right now working with a 9.9 ERA. Much higher than a lot of the other starters, but there's a lot of confidence needed here in a game like this against a GCC rival opponent. Wesley Lewis is the 3rd pitcher in the name of innings pitched. This one going to be right down the middle. This one a tapper over to Malachi Kranz. He'll handle and throw on to first where Sam Luther is covering. Again, Casey Robinson out of the lineup here to start things off, so it's Luther over there at first. Here today in the infield, it's Sam Luther over at first. Malachi Kranz at second. The other middle infielder at short is Aaron Neiman. Isaac Lazar over there at third. The weird thing is out in the outfield, of course, you have Leo Pevnik in center, which is typical. This first pitch outside. Good movement on that one, but couldn't get him to chase. And then over there in left field is Jeremy Silver. That's pretty normal, but out there in right field, you have Andy Berglund, typically a middle infielder. Yeah, he's over there in right here today. A lot of ground to cover here as a shift is on. You can see out there in center, Leo Pevnik a little bit further over to the left side. Here, Grant LePage takes the first 2 outside. And that one's going to catch on the outside half. Wesley Lewis in this one has had 2 home runs against him over the course of the season, all of which were in right field. That one up high. And a lot of the hits that have come against him have been pretty spread apart. If It's in the outfield, however. It tends to be a little bit more heavy to right. But if it's in the infield, a little bit more heavy to the left side of the field. This one gonna catch outside. Oof, tough call. We work our way to a countdown. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the bottom half of the first inning, Grant LePage with the payoff pitch from Wesley Lewis. This one fouled over to the right side. We're gonna try to escape its way over to the Pat Catane Stadium, the football field here at the Strongsville High School campus. Shaker Heights football played there earlier this year. They lost 50-0 to the Strongsville Mustangs. That pitch in tight and down low, taken for ball 4. So Wesley Lewis with 1 down will walk Grant LePage. He's on board over at first.
Batting for the Mustangs, number 5, Jake Becker.
Jake Becker, the left fielder in today's game. He's digging into the left-handed batter's box. Righty-lefty matchup to the advantage of a hitter. LePage taking his lead off of first. He'll extend that lead as here's the pitch delivered in there. Down low for strike number 1. Lewis up to 11 pitches now. Typically that's been a main thing to watch out for is pitch count. Wesley Lewis over the course of the last couple of games has pitched a lot early on in the game. And now this one going to be right down Main Street, taken for strike 2. 0-2 hole now for the batter. LePage taking that lead here. And here's the 0-2. This one fouled back over our press box and over to the softball field. That's unfortunate. Just wide of that softball field here today. Softball game taking place to the left of the third baseline. Shaker Heights softball was to have a game today, though it was canceled. It was going to be a rivalry game in Brunswick. Another GCC matchup. This one's fouled back over to that softball field. Yeah, Shaker Heights softball might be a little happy to get that more warm-up time before taking on Brunswick. They lost that first game 20-0 in softball. That one, we called that game. It was a great game up until that very last inning here. A swing and a miss from Becker. And an 0-2 pitch cut on and missed as LePage takes second. 2 down now, runner on second. He's in scoring position. A threat here is the man with the RBI opportunity here is Kuhar.
Number 22, Jonah Kuhar.
Kuhar, a right-handed hitter. Righty-righty matchup here to the advantage of the Lewis. Michael Coxon catching the balls and strikes here today. Braden White today is going to be your DH. Here, this one fouled back over right down the line of the path to the on-deck circle. 0-1 spot. Wesley Lewis in a little bit more of a comfortable position here. He gave up that walk with 1 out, but since then it's been pretty good out of the sophomore. Here's the pitch. And this one low and outside. Michael Coxon going to get to it. He'll pump a throw, but not actually release. As now LePage works his way deeper into scoring position. He's over at third with 2 down now. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. And the kick and the pitch. That one's going to be right in the middle. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Oh, excuse me. That ball 2. Indeed, that is ball 2. Here's the 2-1. That's going to be right down Main Street. Strike 2. Evened it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Pressure situation here for Kuhar as LePage is getting set to take that lead off of third. He'll make his way forward onto the infield dirt. And now this one, ooh, just up and out. Just can't nip that corner. We'll have to wait up. 2 down. Now it's a full count here to Kuhar. Even a more pressureful situation. This one cut on and sent over in the shallow left center. That's going to bloop down. And LePage will score in from third. 1-0 goes your score. The Strongsville Mustangs take the early lead here in the bottom of the first. Wesley Lewis can't let that get to his head. Typically what we've
Mustangs
seen
number
out of
6,
Wesley
Tommy
Lewis is
Farkas.
the case where if he gives up one hit, it turns into a little bit of a hitting gallery for the opposite team. Here Kuar taking the lead off of first. 1-0 now the score. Here's the pitch. That's going to be right down the middle, a little bit down low, however. Taken for strike one. 2 down, Kuhar aboard over at first. 1-0 score with the Mustangs leading in the bottom of the first. The pitch, that's up high. Easy, take that time for Farkas. Shaker Heights entering into this one are coming off of the loss on Friday to the Perry Pirates. It was a good matchup between the two schools, but Shaker Heights fell down in the late stages, just weren't able to mount the late inning comeback. They lost 5-2. And here Michael Coxon with the throw down to first after the pitch as it goes 2-1. Won't get him. He's back in safely. Shaker Heights softball, on the other hand, has had a lot more success against Strongsville baseball. They won their one game against Strongsville 4-2. This one grounded over the left side. Isaac Lazar handles strong throw across the diamond in time to Sam Luther for out number 3. So 1 run will come across for the Mustangs. Comes out of a bloop left center field single. And the Red Raiders have a little work to do early in this one. Malachi Kranz due up first for the Red Raiders in the top of the second. Vaughn Ullum with you here on the call. We'll be right back. Shaker Heights finds themselves down 1-0 here after one inning. 1-0 that score. A hit per side, though Shaker Heights wasn't able to bring in Braden White, the one guy with the hit for the Red Raiders. So due up here to actually start things off. They've been shifting this lineup like crazy here on the Game Changer. So actually it's going to be Isaac Lazar due up first. And the freshman will watch this one go down low for ball 1. Isaac Lazar, the freshman, we saw him pitch in our broadcast against Chagrin Falls, and, well, the freshman did very, very well. Apparently, he's one of the most prominent pitchers on the JV team. Of course, he's one of those swing players that plays with both. This one swung through and missed. 2-1 goes your count. But here on Varsity right now, Isaac Lazar in a little bit of a slump on offense. He's batting 143 entering into today, though the OBP looking a lot better. This one down low. 3-1 goes the count. He's working with a 286 OBP. The reason being, well, he's walked 5 times. We'll see at a 3-1 count. Could he draw another? This one cut on, popped up. That one doesn't look like it'll escape. It'll go into foul territory. Pitcher just barely calls off. The catcher. And Thabita is there to make the grab in foul territory. One down here for Malachi Kranz, today's second baseman. Typically, you'll see him over at short or at third, but today's on the right side of the infield. Rare happening. And here today, he's in a little bit of an offensive slump himself. Here's the pitch. This one outside, easy take. Krenz enters into today batting a .205. But again, an OBP looking a lot better at a .271. Just barely over that Mendoza line of 200. This one down low, 2-0. This next offering, this one hacked at, sent down the right field line. It'll eventually curl foul over to the right side. And it'll go. First strike number 1. 2-1 down here to the second baseman, Malachi Krenz. Also in that Sugar and Falls game, we saw him out in right field. So typically, you'll be seeing either Jeremy Silver, Quinn Malone, Eli Stolfus out there in right. But with, again, a lot of those guys out due to AP testing in the early stages of this game, you're seeing a guy like Andy Berglund play out in right. Really hurt when Nate Landever went down in that West Geauga game. Shaker Heights has had to do a lot of shifting in the outfield. They're a swing and a miss for Malachi Krenz. Works it to a count down. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down here in the top of the second. Payoff pitch to come in just a moment here. Krenz, a guy that wants to get that big base knock. He's been talking about a home run all throughout the early stages of the season, but this one, he'll play it smart. He'll take ball 4 up high and draws the 6-pitch walk. He'll jog his way over to first. He'll deliver the batting gloves over to assistant coach Joe Welch over at first base here today. And now Jeremy Silver digs in the left-handed batter's box against a righty hitter. He's got the advantage. And this first pitch taken right down the middle. Jeremy Silver batting an .059. And right now, he's got 1 hit during the regular season, but the good thing is that that 1 hit came in the last game against Perry. A little bit of recency success for Jeremy Silver. Probably why he's back in the lineup from the batting standpoint once again. Here's the pitch. This one cut on foul back to us near side. Catches into the netting. Sam Luther going to go ahead and grab that from the on-deck circle. 0-2 hole. The sophomore finds himself. Again, typically a guy that can go out and pitch. Today he's out in left. Maybe he's the guy that they'll bring out in relief if guys like Robinson and Stolfus don't come back out. And now here, time called. Silver taking a couple of practice swings as he exits out. Thabita to 25 pitches of his first quarter century, looking at a 14 strikes, 11 balls, not the greatest ratio, but Wesley Lewis is looking at about the same. He's at 24 to 13. Total pitches, 2 strikes. And here, this one going to go over the head of the catcher. The throw down, not going to be in time. Krenz was in there easily standing. The throw down from Kuar. One just reached over into the netting. That one far above the head. Wasn't able to make it. Of course, today we've got a stone backstop. That's always going to help out the catcher on the bounce. Something that Michael Coxon always tells us about. If it's brick or it's stone, it's typically going to have that good bounce off, and it'll help the catcher out. And it can really fool a runner that's looking to take off. So now Krenz is in scoring position at a 2-2 count as Jeremy Silver. 1 down here. Shaker looking for their first RBI of the ball game to tie this thing up. Jeremy Silver, however, swings and misses for strike 3. That's strikeout number 2 from Thabita. Has only walked 1 and given up 1 hit. Solid start for the kid. And now Sam Luther going to dig in. Sam Luther actually entering with a .333 average, but you can't be fooled. He's only 1 for 3 throughout the season. This one sent over to the first base side. It's handled here, and the flip on to the pitcher. Covering will be in time. So here, Krenz, who was bolting his way home, is going to have to take a stop in the middle of the third baseline as Shaker Heights will once again be held to 0 here in the top of the second. Wesley Lewis to come back out here in pitch. Thanks for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. The Mustangs up 1-0. We'll see if they can build on that lead when we come back. Evan Jurko to lead things off here in the bottom of the second inning. Both teams with one hit only, but keep in mind Shaker Heights has had double the chance. Here in the bottom of the second, Strongsville with a 1-run lead, 1-0 the score, off of a bloop single RBI that made its way just in front of Leo Pevnik out in the left center. Neither him nor Aaron Neiman, who was backed up off of the infield dirt, were able to make that grab. So here, Jurko, the right fielder in today's game, is in an 0-1 spot after that first offering from Wesley Lewis. The sophomore off to a much better start. This one, however, as I say that, going to run in and get him on the front shoulder. Jurko going to jog his way over to first. Again, Lewis can't let that get into the back of his head. He's got to play his game.
Now batting for the Mustangs,
Like
number 10, Brady Eckert.
It's a tied ball game. Again, we're seeing out of a lot of the Shaker Heights pitchers, the mentality playing the biggest role in their game. Wesley Lewis just needing to take a breath after that. Leadoff man is on. But here, Eckert going to ground this one. That'll find its way through. Yes, just past Malachi Kranz into shallow center. Berglund coming in to deliver it off to Aaron Neiman. So first two guys aboard now. First and second occupied by Jurko and Eckert.
Now batting for the Mustangs, number 4,
And
Joey
now number 4,
Kinsella.
Joey Kinsella, due up now. Kinsella, today's shortstop. Nope. Or excuse me, there is a DH. It was the last guy up, Eckert. DHing today for the third baseman. And now here showing bunt. This one fouled off over to the right side. Shaker Heights on offense has had a lot of struggle with the bunt early on this season. Hopefully they can get Strongsville lacking all the same. They're trying to move Jurko up 90 feet to third and Eckert up into scoring position to second. And now showing bunt once again is Kinsella. And this one popped up. Ooh, my goodness, that one right off the top of the roof of the press box. It's a rare happening that you see a bunt lead up in the press box territory. Wesley Lewis with a check down to Jurko. This pitch down low. 1-2 goes the count. Here, we have seen actually last season, I believe it was the Yankees radio voice get hit by a foul ball that went right up into his press box. But he just kept on calling it. Here, oh, no one was covering on second. So they're unable to get that out, and it'll advance both runners up 90 feet. Lewis went for the pickoff throw to second. He would have had him too, but no one was there. Jurko made the break to third as the throw was going to second, but again, yeah, no one was there, nor Kranz, nor Neiman. He's now two guys into scoring position with no outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's a big-time strikeout there for Wesley Lewis, getting that first out here in the bottom of the second. It would be a big deal here if he's able to get out of this, but just not looking that likely. What's the pronunciation? Thabata here, your pitcher for the Mustangs. So far thrown up 2 zeros on the Shaker offensive side. And what am I seeing over there? Well, finally, Eli Stolfus, Casey Robinson, and Quinn Malone coming in. So eventually they'll make their way out to the field. They're not even dressed, so it might be a minute. And here the pickoff throw over to third. They thought they might have had him, but he's back in safely. Again, as we said, AP testing can just sometimes be a real struggle when it comes to scheduling for any head coach. It's that time of the year here in the later weeks. And here they're going for the bunt. This one, oh, it's going to be perfect. Oh, I'm going to, oh. We're going to get a time called here. They're saying that the ball might have ran in and hit the batter, maybe the runner. We'll see. Must have hit the runner, right? They said no contact strike. Apparently dead ball strike. We're not sure how. Batter not contesting. The coach is not contesting it either. 0-2 is your count. We don't know why. Thabita here. Pickoff throw over to third. Jerko was not expecting it, but Isaac Lazar way in front of third, so we're not actually going to get any tag placed. We'll see what happens here. Now an 0-2 spot. You can't really bunt it. Here's the pitch. This one cut on, popped up. If this stays into foul territory, it's perfect, but Sam Luther got scared. Just let that one fall right into the infield dirt, or excuse me, into the foul territory dirt right in front of the Strongsville dugout. We've seen that happen too many times, and I was talking about that in the game against Perry. Shaker Heights, whenever they go into foul territory, they just seem to get afraid, and it really seems to hurt them sometimes. This one outside tried to get Thabita chasing. Won't work out. Wesley Lewis up to 2 strikeouts. He's only walked 1, but he's allowed an earned run to come in. That's the 1 run here for the Mustangs. This one cut on, sent down the third base line. Oh, they rule it foul. Just barely. Mustangs coach leaned over. Obviously frustrated by that call. I mean, that looked like it just barely went over the bag. Umpire says no. We'll do it again at a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 1 down here. Man on second and man on third here for the Mustangs. Jerko trying to double that lead. We saw earlier him making a break for home on the bunt, but now once again in a 2-strike spot. We're not really going to get that. That one runs in, gets the batter. Well, the double play would be in order, but it's not really going to help out the Red Raiders. Murphy Kelly, the batter now, as we go back up to the top of the order. Bases loaded with 1 down here for Kelly. Here's the pitch. This one cut on and missed. Lewis up to now 37 pitches. Of those 37, it has been 22 going as strikes. And now the 0-1. That's going to be right down the middle. A little bit up high, but yeah, that's going to be ruled a strike every day by Blue. Behind home plate. 0-2 hole here for Kelly. Probably nothing to hit on this next offering. However, swing and a miss. Got him for out number 2. That is a big time out here for Wesley Lewis. And the bases will remain loaded. But now we go to Grant LePage. 0 for 1, or excuse me, 0 for 0 because he walked his first time up. He's the 1 run to score for the Mustangs to this point. 2 down, here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Lewis right now entering into a little bit of a groove out there on the mound. Hopefully enough of a groove to get him out of the sticky situation that he finds himself in. Here's the 0-1 pitch to the righty batter, and he'll watch it go by for strike 2. This would be a big-time pitch for Wesley Lewis if he's able to get out of the jam. Here's the 0-2. That one just outside. Good hold there from LePage. Wesley Lewis wants to bring his offense up with a little bit of momentum if he can get out of it. 1-2. Here it comes. And a swing and a miss. He got him. Back-to-back Ks with the bases loaded. Get the Red Raiders out of the jam, and their offense will hopefully be pumped as they get their leadoff guys up for the top of the 3rd inning. Michael Coxon, Aaron Neiman, Braden White, those 3 guys do up. Thank you for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Your score remains 1-0. correction. Andy Berglund, your first guy, due up here for the Red Raiders. Behind him would be those first two guys in the batting order, Michael Coxon and Aaron Neiman, both of who are 0 for 1. Andy Berglund, one of those guys that's been doing well on offense, just hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity to bat, though he is batting a .312 average, which right now brings him 4th on the team. 3rd, if we're not counting Sam Luther, who's only had 3 ABs entering into this one. This one low and outside, taken by Andy Berglund. 1 ball, no strikes to the sophomore, and he'll take this one up and away, 2-0. Shaker Heights would love some runs out of this one. Wesley Lewis worked his tail off to get out of the jam in the bottom of the second with back-to-back Ks. This one down low as well. So even if Shaker can get that leadoff guy on, it'd be a big-time deal for the offense. Again, with the top of the order coming up after this guy. 3-0 is your count. You can imagine Berglund would be taken all the way no matter what. To kick the offering. And this one down low, easy take. 4-pitch walk issued to Andy Berglund to kick things off here in the top of the 3rd. The Red Raiders down 1. Now the tying run on here in the 3rd inning. Now we're going to get time called by Strongsville. We're going to take a second as they talk things over. 1-0 your score. Strongsville in the lead in the top of the 3rd. Back to the top of the order we go, and Michael Coxon. And he'll take this first one in there for a strike. 4-pitch walk issued to Andy Berglund. He's aboard at first. But the first pitch going to Michael Coxon is in there for strike 1. Tabata up to 33 pitches. Here's the next offering. Or excuse me, that one being 35. That one low and away, taken for ball 1. Coxon 0 for 1 to start things off. So is Aaron Neiman behind him. Tabata checking the runner over at first without a throw. And now the kick in the offering. And Michael Coxon lines this one out in the center. That has a lot on it, and it'll reach all the way to Kelly, who makes the grab for out number 1. A line out there for Michael Coxon. Great contact. You could hear it well off the bat. But fortunately just not able to find that gap. And sometimes you just need a little bit of contact that can go a long way. Oh, here's a softball making its way into the baseball field. That one fouled off from the softball game over to our left, to the left of the 3rd baseline. But now we're back to it. We play on. 1 out, 1 man on for the Red Raiders. Aaron Neiman, now the batter. And the first pitch to the sophomore, fouled back into the near side netting. Braden White going to go ahead and grab it. Aaron Neiman, a guy the Red Raiders really need to get going on offense. He's been playing incredibly well defensively. He had a slow start, but he's been working his way up in offense, slowly progressing in average, and right now 211 entering into today. Next pitch, this one grounded. That's going to find the gap just in front of Andy Berglund, roll its way out into shallow right. They're going to hold Berglund out there at second, and Neiman aboard now over at first of the Red Raiders with a man in scoring position for the big bat of Braden White. Big-time guy that the Red Raiders need on now. He's 1 for 1 to start things off. Berglund off of second. Here's the pitch to White. That one up high. Tabata to 39 pitches. Of the 39, 20 have been strikes, 19 of which have not. If he misses with this next one, we reach a 50-50 ratio. But this one's skied up. That's not going to help out the Red Raiders, as this one's going to be right in front of home plate, taken by Tabata for out number 2. That's a tough out. So Leo Pevnik will dig in. Your center fielder in today's game started things off 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Behind him would be Malachi Crins. We'll see if he gets any sort of chance. But if that's the case, they need to move something along here in this AB. Berglund off of second, Neiman off of first. 2 down. And a 1-0 score. Here's the pitch. Leo Pevnik, ooh, backed away from that one inside. Taken inside for strike number 1. Tabata, not even going to check either one. We're going to get time called here as both Pevnik steps out of the batter's box. Tabata steps out of the mound. And now we're back to it. Still a 0-1 count here to Pevnik. And here's the pitch. And that one's going to be taken. Good movement on that one. Made the late break, but it's still clipped on the outside half. Finished off down low, but it crossed over the plate where it needed to. And an 0-2 hole here for Pevnik. And now we're going to get a time call by Pevnik. Neiman and Berglund both going back to their respective bases. And now stepping right back off. 0-2. The count here to the sophomore. 2 on here in the top of the third shaker. Down by 1. They could really use some runs out of this. But here's the pitch. That one upstairs outside. Try to get Leo Pevnik chasing with that one. Again, as we said, behind Pevnik would be Malachi Crans, a guy that lives for these kinds of RBI moments, but we'll see if he gets that chance. As now it's going to be a 1-2. Leo Pevnik runs this one over the left side of the infield, handled by the shortstop Cancilla. However, with a high one, and he's safe over at first as it pulled him off the bag. And here, no one covering home. Andy Berglund trying to avoid the slide. However, he is out by a mile. Not sure why he went for that one, as he is out by a landslide, and Strongsville going to get out of a bases-loaded situation. Just not the play there for the Red Raiders. They will find themselves down 1-0. Into the bottom of the third we go. Wesley Lewis back out to pitch. Casey Robinson coming out on defense, and we'll tell you all about the changes when we come back. Well, unexpectedly, Quinn Malone is your new pitcher. Wesley Lewis was doing well out on the mound, but, well, head coach Stephen English decides to put out the lefty, which could be the main difference, honestly, is the handedness between the two pitchers. But it's just surprising. Wesley Lewis was doing well. He was reaching a higher pitch count. Through 2, he pitched 43, but still surprised they didn't let him go as long as he could. So here, Quinn Malone, the lefty, with the first pitch. And get the swing and the miss out of Becker, who's 0 for 1 to start off his day with a strikeout. Wesley Lewis also ended things there in the top or excuse me, in the bottom of the second with back-to-back Ks. Here, Quinn Malone with a pitch outside and low. 1-1 even count. Malone entering into today working with an ERA of 6.1. This next offering cut on, fouled back over our press box and into the grass behind us. Sun trying to peek out over to our left. It's now covering the field now. Haven't had a whole lot of great weather. Right now the temperature seems to be getting a little bit chillier. However, it's 60 degrees. This one grounded over to the right side. Casey Robinson, who's now your first baseman, taps on the first for out number 1. So, yeah, your defensive changes, there's only 2 of them, as now, or I suppose 3 if you're counting the pitcher, but out in the actual field, we're seeing Casey Robinson now over at first. Sam Luther is out, and now, instead of Andy Berglund, who's typically the middle infielder, over out in right, it's going to be Eli Stolfus. So now all 3 AP testers are now out in the field. I don't know which AP test it was, but hopefully they did well. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, got him. 1-1 even count here. Kuar, 1 for 1 to start things off. 1-0 the score. Strongsville trying to get a little bit more insurance before we make our way into the middle inning, that 4th inning. Here today. Only 2 hits per side, so both pitchers have done rather well, though both have been in some tough situations. This next pitch from Quinn Malone lined out into center. Neiman tried to make the leaping grab before it got into the grass behind him, but it does just that. It goes right by the glove. And a 1-out single. Kuhar begins this. 2 for 2 on the day. Number 6, Tommy Farkas now in. He's 0 for 1. Kuhar taking a healthy lead off of first. Now he'll head back a little bit. And here's the pickoff throw. It'll get past Casey Robinson and over into foul territory. Kuhar easily making his way into scoring position. These are the little things that Shaker Heights continues to just have them beat themselves down and lose these tough games in which they are competing. It'll be interesting to see what the next game brings. We could expect Casey Robinson to start on the mound for the Raiders. And that's, of course, their toughest pitcher. This one into foul territory. And speak of the devil, Casey Robinson falls on his rear, makes the grab, the throw on the second for Kuar. Man, that's some effort we like to see. He fell on his rear, makes the grab with the right glove, and he bobbled it at first. I thought he didn't make it. But, man, got to tip your cap to that one. I mean, Casey Robinson, who replaced Sam Luther, who wasn't able to make the foul territory grab. And, well, maybe that's why they made that change over at first. Casey Robinson able to give it his all. Here's the pitch. That one up high. (1-0) to start things off here to Jerko. Jerko reached his first time up off of being hit by a pitch. And this next one going to be right down the middle. 2 down here, runner in scoring position as it's Kuhar on second. He advanced off of the wild throw from Quinn Malone on the pickoff at first. And now Quinn Malone going to step off for an extra second. Quinn Malone, if we look at his spray charts, he's yet to get a hit, but if we look at the pitching standpoint, he's not let a whole lot go as infield hits. A lot of them have reached, but not deep either. A lot of those hits are in the shallow outfield, whether it be right or left, though typically it is in right field. It's a lot of that stuff in the shallow outfield. And today that can help with the wind blowing in. Can work even further in the infield. Here's 3-1 now, as the last 2 have missed. Jerko, as we said, hit by a pitch his first time up. 2 down. Malone checks the runner in second without a throw. He'll deliver the pitch, and a swing and a miss comes through. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count with 2 down. Runner on second as Kuar. 1-0 the score. The Mustangs lead. Shaker would like to keep it at that 1-run lead before going into the middle inning. Here's the pitch. Gets the swing and miss. Man, Shaker Heights right now is surviving off the swing and miss. As now that will be as a team 5 strikeouts as we make our way into the middle inning. Inning number 4, the Mustangs lead 1-0. We'll tell you more about Shaker's offensive changes when we come back. Malachi Grand's due up here to start things off in the top of the 4th. Shaker Heights down 1-0. But Shaker Heights can tie this thing up with a string of a couple of hits. And Malachi Kranz, well, he's trying to tie it up with one swing of the bat as he'll swing and miss for strike 1. Still out on the mound here is Thabata. He's pitched 3 so far, only allowed 2 hits and 2 walks. He struck out 2. This one going to get away from the catcher, Kuhar. It was the man in scoring position there in the bottom of the 3rd, but a big-time strikeout from Quinn Malone, who's now your pitcher in for the Red Raiders. Shut down that chance. 1-0, the Mustangs lead. Here's the pitch. That one outside. Krenz wanted that one, but he just barely held back. Thabata nearing that half-century mark, though he's only to 46. We'll see how this AB goes. Excuse me, now he's to 47 on the 2-1 pitch. This one up and taken for strike number 2. Evened it up. Nobody out here as we're just getting things started. Here in the top of the 4th, Kranz due up. Behind him would be Jeremy Silver and we believe Casey Robinson. This one cut on, and this one has a chance of getting down, and no, it will not. The center fielder, Kelly, comes in and makes the running grab. And excuse me, once again, the game changer has it wrong. It's actually here Isaac Lazar due up, Jeremy Silver behind him. Man, I cannot pay attention to this game changer when it tells me the batting order. We have had that concern over the last few games. Great many times, whether it's Tyler Zach working it, O'Shea Howard working it. Game changer just tends to be a little difficult sometimes. This one down low, taken by the freshman Isaac Lazar. First time through the order, Shaker Heights had on the strikeout standpoint, Pevnik and Silver. Silver would be the next man due up. Isaac Lazar fouls this one back into the grass as we see this one fall down behind the open door of the press box. That's going to be tough to find. That grass is quite tall back there. Oh, it looks like a fan is going to go ahead and grab it, so he probably saw where it landed. But it's going to be Braden White going to go ahead and find it. Isaac Lazar takes this one down low, nobody on, and will get away from Kuhar for just an extra second, though he's not going to make the advancement. Actually, maybe Braden White won't get it. He's rounding here, and it looks like he'll be heading off maybe to the restrooms. This one, down low as well. Isaac Lazar takes it. 3-1 goes the count to the freshman. And again, as we said, just getting one guy on can be a difference maker. With a couple of errors, boom, it's a tied ball game. Or one base hit out of the next couple of guys. Here's the 3-1. And this one cut on, sent over to the third base side. Awkward hop, but handled by Glinsky. And the throw on to first is there. The freshman out at first. 3-1, he had the green light. Unfortunately, just still, Shaker Heights is making decent contact over these last couple of games. The contact has gotten better. They've avoided a lot of strikeouts that they had earlier on in the season. That was especially a problem out in Myrtle Beach when they had their preseason games. But now they just can't seem to find the gaps, and that's something that assistant coach Jarrell Johnson has stressed a lot. That one up high, it'll make its way to the backstop. And that's the thing, Shaker Heights now with a 5-11 record. Assistant coach Jarrell Johnson was honest with them too. He said, listen, you guys need to get offense going late in the season if you want to be a good baseball team. And I mean, Shaker Heights' players, I mean, you can't argue that right now. Right now in the GCC, things are looking rough. And though Strongsville is having a worse season than last, it's a much more competitive season out of them. And right now they've got a winning record at 9-7. Shaker, on the other hand, as we said, 5-11. Shaker Heights so far with their wins coming from Euclid, West Geauga, Beechwood, Lorraine, and Chagrin Falls. And this one fouled back over to the softball side once again to the left. So he'll continue to fight here. However, that'll make it to a 2-ball, 2-strike count from 2-0 to 2-2. 2 down here. Silver struck out his first time up. The left fielder in today's game going to look at the next offering. Catcher moves outside, but it looks like that pitch going to be delivered inside. Maybe he got a little bit later release on that one, did Thabata. And it works its way to a payoff pitch upcoming. 2 down here, not a whole lot of pressure, however, on the payoff. And Jeremy Silver skies this one out into left center. And that one going to be easily made by Becker. Makes the grab for out number 3. Shaker goes down 1, 2, 3. We're halfway through this one. We'll make our way into the bottom of the 4th when we come back. Quinn Malone back out to the mound for the Red Raiders. Shaker Heights down 1-0. Quinn Malone back out to the mound. Had a clean little bottom of the 3rd, but now here in the bottom of the 4th, his 2nd inning of work. I'm going to try to settle things down, not allow a hit this time. He allowed 1 through in that 3rd inning, but he also struck out 1 to leave him stranded. Shaker Heights here in a 1-0 affair. On the other side here at the athletic facilities. Over to the left of the third baseline, the softball game 6-0. The Mustangs lead it over the Red Wolves of Cuyahoga Heights. That's a JV softball game over there on the left side. This one cut on, sent up the middle. It'll roll oddly off the bump. Aaron Neiman with a good short hop, but Casey Robinson tries the pick, and it looks like he was pulled off the bag on the throw. Shaker Heights' infield continues to struggle in the name of consistency. It's just a lot of defensive errors early on, no different there. As here on the scoreboard, they're going to rule it as error number 3. And so will the game changer. So rare that you see the matchup like that, but there you go. Shaker Heights' game changer not actually going on right now. Oh, here it goes. Eckert over there on first. He'll take the lead now in a 1-0 spot. Kinsella, the batter, 0 for 1 to start things off. Struck out his first time up. And here's the 1-0 pitch outside. We'll see how head coach Stephen English would let this one go if it got out of hand for Quinn Malone. Just due to the fact that this is a game that Shaker Heights would really love to win, and this is a very winnable game for them right now at a 1-0 score. Shaker Heights were swept by Menor, swept by Brunswick, and then swept by Medina. This next offering, this one fouled back. So that, of course, being 6 of the losses. Shaker Heights had to have rescheduled their home game against Euclid, where rumor has it I might even be playing in that game. This one up high, Michael Coxon with the throw down, and did they get him? And he's safe. Eager to board now at second. 3-1 goes their count. So yeah, if that's the case, if I'm playing in that Euclid game, might not have a broadcast, but be sure to join at the actual field itself. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count here to Ken Silva. Again, struck out his first time up. Quinn Malone looking to replicate the success. Eaker taking the lead off of second. Showing bunt, but now he'll pull back. Here's the throw on third, and that one going to escape out into left field. They're going to book it home. The throw home. Was it there? Oh, they rule it safe. Thought they might have had him there on the leg, but they'll rule him safe. And here, head coach Stephen English going to come out. It looks like he's going to go out for the mound visit here as time is called. Thought he just barely nicked him on the leg. Doesn't get the call. We're going to step aside for just a moment. 2-0 now your score. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Runner on second. Now in a 2-0 score. The bottom up now, nobody out here. Runner on second here. Bunt goes low. The throw, Michael Coxon throws in. What is that? I mean, Malachi Cran sliding into the dirt over at first. Here the throw now to second. It's looking like Little League out here. As now run number 3 comes in for the Mustangs. So Tabata going to be safe now at second. Same kind of story. Back-to-back errors on what both should have been outs. Back-to-back errors bring back-to-back runs. It's 3-0 now. Strongsville still in the lead. The bottom now taking the lead off of second. Here's the pitch, showing bunt once again. I'll say that the batter remained out of it. As now we're back up to the top of the order, and Murphy Kelly. Next pitch to Kelly, showing bunt once again. Perfect bunt. Here Coxon with the throw to third, and can't make the grab is Isaac Lazar. Runners will go to the corners. Shaker just cannot seem to catch a break right now on the defensive side. Double play will be in order, but and so it's 3-0. Runners at the corners. Still nobody out as 2 runs have already come across. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be inside here. The throw from Coxon is going to be there as Kelly is out. He thought that was not ruled as safe, but indeed he'll be out. So there's your first out of the inning. Took Shaker Heights a minute. Well, they'll eventually get it on a good throw down from Michael Coxon. The kick in the offering from Malone. This one grounded over to first. Casey Robinson has the runner on the third base line in a rundown. In the tag over at third, they got him on the tag. That's a big timeout. And now we're going to get time called here as they need to reset. Home plate umpire going to brush off home plate. Now looks like we're back to things. So, well, now it's a lot cleaner out there. As it's 3-0, that is their score still with the Mustangs in the lead. We can't turn back time on the scoreboard, but now only a runner at first with 2 down for the Mustangs. Big timeouts. Got the runner advancing to second, and then got the runner caught up in the rundown on third. This one, ooh, called strike on the outside half. That was close. Maybe a little generous as well towards Quinn Malone. Malone with the kick in the offering. That one gonna hit the dirt in front of Coxon. No advancement made here from the runner at first. 1-1 even count, 2 down, runner on first. Mustangs looking to extend that lead a little bit more, but Shaker needs to keep the score right where it is and keep it within striking distance. Can't let this one get out of hand. Malone with the kick in the offering. This one cut on in harsh contact off of that one, and will work its way over, bouncing off the caging of the bullpen for the Mustangs. 1-2, as that one goes for strike 2. Game changer for Shaker Heights, still trying to figure things out, as they still rolled it a 2-0 game with the runner on second and third, which, well, that's just totally wrong. Here's the 1-2. And this one grounded over to Malachi Krantz. He'll make the play on the first and out number 3. So it wasn't the prettiest baseball here in the bottom of the 4th, but Shaker Heights will limit the damage a little bit and make it only a 2-run 4th. So now we'll step out in front of you and tell you the story of the game. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum is on the call. 3-0 now your score. Strongsville in the lead out here in Strongsville, Ohio. And right now the Mustangs are in control. The reason being Shaker Heights' offense still just underperforming where they need to be in the GCC. Again, Shaker Heights' second year out here in the Greater Cleveland Conference after returning. And right now, Shaker Heights' hitting is really just the main issue. Right now, only 2 hits for them, while on the error standpoint, Shaker Heights with, on the game changer, 6, and out there on the scoreboard, 4. So Shaker Heights right now just need to settle things down. They're only down by 3. It's very much still within striking distance, but the Red Raiders right now in hits, they only have Aaron Neiman and Braden White with hits. The bottom of the order really needs to pick things up. I wouldn't have heard if Michael Coxon got some hits as well. He's the leadoff man at the top of the order, but Shaker Heights right now as a whole. As, again, assistant coach Jarrell Johnson said, hits need to start coming. They cannot just continue to rely on errors from lesser opponents if you're competing here in the GCC. And right now it's showing. Shaker Heights down 3-0 as we enter into the 5th inning. Thanks for joining. Shaker Heights has had their opportunities to put some runs on the board. They just have not been able to string hits together. Again, only to this point. It says on the game changer 6 errors for the Red Raiders. Up on the scoreboard out there in center says 4 for the moment. Those errors including 1 for Strongsville. But yeah, 2 of those errors coming from Michael Coxon behind the dish. Here's the pitch to Casey Robinson outside. Casey Robinson due up first here, with behind him being Eli Stolfus, and we'll see how that continues forward. I believe behind Stolfus would be the top of the order here. Robinson grounds this one over to the second baseman, handled, throw on to first in time. Routine little ground out there. Casey Robinson, a guy that Shaker Heights would have loved to see get a hit there, but unfortunately not that time. Eli Stolfus digging in now. Now your right fielder taking over for Andy Berglund. Shaker down 3-0, needing the hits right now. Stolfus right now batting .217. There's a big drop-off in the batting averages. Here's the pitch. As right in front of Stolfus is Michael Coxon batting .302, and then there's that big gap as Eli Stolfus is behind Michael Coxon at .217. Then behind him, once again, it picks back up in consistency. Then behind him, it's .211 is Aaron Neiman, .205 is Malachi Kranz. So not a whole lot of separation there, but again, if you're not Michael Coxon, Berglund, Robinson, or White, you haven't had a whole lot of success out there at the plate. And right now, a swing and a miss from Stolfus on a 1-2 now is your count. And as time's called, now he steps back into the right-handed batter's box. The pitch, Eli Stolfus watches strike 3. Oof, tough call down low. Stolfus didn't like it. Not sure we do either. As we go to the top of the order, and Michael Coxon. 2 down, nobody on. Doesn't will get any runs scored here in the top of the 5th, so that would leave him. Now Shaker down 7 outs, remaining 3 runs to make up. We'll see if Quinn Malone returns back out to the mound. Would imagine so. And this next offering got him swinging down low into the dirt. Was that pitch? Got him fishing. 3-0 Strongsville in the lead. On here, the bottom up to 68 pitches of the 68, 39 of them hitting the zone. And now the 0-2. Got outside. Taken by Michael Coxon. Easy take that time. He'll knock the dirt out of the cleats with the tip of the bat knocking on the front of him. Now the 1-2 on its way outside. Pitcher thought he got it. Evened it up 2-2. Coxon here digging in, as we said, with that .302 average. Right now, all those hits really going to the left side, except for one out into the middle of right. This one down low, taken by Coxon. Works it full. From 0-2 to full. Michael Coxon here has done well from the hitting standpoint. Got one hit against Perry. This one fouled back. We'll do it again at a full count. But he's been rather streaky with hits. He started things off with a big-time hitting streak from the course of April 3rd to April 15th, then didn't get a hit for the back-to-back games, then went on a hitting streak for 5 games. Then once again, didn't get a hit for 3 there. Not making the swing forward was Michael Coxon. He'll take for ball 4 and advance up to first. So Well, it's a good walk out of Michael Cox, and he really battled through the AB, fouled one off over top of our press box, and now Aaron Neiman, a guy that could use a hit, digging into the left-handed batter's box. Neiman, a guy that's been less consistent from the hitting standpoint, though he's done better over the course of the season. He's 1 for 2 on the day to this point. It's him and Braden White with the 2 hits for Shaker Heights so far. And while they're the next 2 due up, hoping Braden White gets that chance. So far, Aaron Neiman with most of his hits going in the shallow right center. This one going to have good late break to it as it works its way outside off the plate in right down the middle. Aaron Neiman went 2 for 3 against Perry in that last game. If he gets a base knock here, he'll replicate that success at 2 for 3. That pitch location seemed the exact same, but won't get the call that time. It goes 2-1. Coxon taking the lead off of first. Here's the pitch. Aaron Neiman swings and misses. 2-2. 2 down here. Strongsville, a squad that last year was able to mercy Shaker Heights in that game back home. We weren't able to call the other one here. This is actually our first time calling a game here in Strongsville, Ohio. Here's the pitch. Aaron Neiman with an opposite field one that curls foul to the left. Well, something's going on over there at the softball field. Some big-time hit, you can imagine. Some big-time runs coming in, you can imagine, for Strongsville. Again, against the Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves. Right now, the game changer says it's 6-0. We can imagine that could be changing in just a moment here. Well, now it says it's 7-0 with a fly-out just happening. So I don't know what that commotion was for. This one fouled back over to the softball field. Maybe just missing it narrowly. 2-2, even here to Aaron Neiman. Sophomore. A lot more discipline this season up at the plate. He's waiting for good pitches to come his way. Hopefully the same story here. 2-2, here it comes. And he'll wait on this one that goes right through the strike zone. He'll take it for strike 3. Shaker Heights still down 3-0 as we go into the bottom of the 5th. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be right back. Kuhar, the batter here for the Mustangs. First pitch to him, grounded over to the left side of the field. Aaron Neiman unable to make the short hop. I'll slip right underneath the glove. Rule it as an error. The Coaches will always tell you to put the body in front of it, but he stopped to just have the glove go in. And, well, it just passed right by the glove. Wasn't able to make that play as it escaped out into shallow left field. Same spot here. Aaron Neiman this time will have the same thing happen. It'll escape out into left field as first two guys on. Well, now if you're the hitting coach, you know where to attack.
Number 8, Evan Jerko.
Back-to-back errors on Aaron Neiman. Jerko, the batter here. And here's the pitch. He'll swing and miss on that one. He was showing bunt originally, held back, took the swing, didn't work out for him. Kuhar aboard over at second. Farkas taking his lead off of first. The 0-1 to Jerko. Here's the bunt. Once again, it's a beautiful bunt. Casey Robinson with a late throw on the first. Are they going to rule him safe? Indeed they do. Well, bases loaded, nobody out. Casey Robinson was able to get out of that last year, but Quinn Malone in a much more rough game. And again, this is where you just get a little confused as to why Wesley Lewis didn't remain into the ballgame. Again, he hasn't had a whole lot of success this season. In this game he has. But no. Put in Quinn Malone, and right now, it's pitch up high. Bottom of the fifth, this one outside, 2-0. Well, if he walks him here, you can imagine a mound visit comes in. And he's halfway there at the 2-0. Quinn Malone through 34 now is looking at 21 strikes. That one going to be in there. You're the batter, number 10, Eckert. Your designated hitter, going 1 for 2 to this point with a run. 1 of 3 right now. The Mustangs lead 3-0. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be in there. Swing and a miss. Evens it up 2-2. Well, you never know. Quinn Malone could get out of damage, but it's just not exactly the most likely scenario. Especially with the now 8 errors we have on the game changer for Shaker Heights. That one just up high. It's called that before. Won't get it that time. Sun once again peeking through the clouds. Not helpful to any outfielder. As that one's going to miss for ball 4. Not sure where. Yeah, he's been working with a tall strike zone, but I suppose that one was up high, so rough call, and we don't get a mound visit after the walk. Joey Cancilla now. 8th man in the batting order, digging in. And that pitch in sight. Almost ran in and got him. Very winnable game. Shaker just doesn't look like they're going to be able to pull out of this one. Game's not over for sure, but still bases loaded. That one up high. Even the lady in the press box thought that was a strike. This time it's a swing and miss. There's no doubt about it. It's a strike. 2-1 goes the count. Bases are loaded here for the Mustangs, still with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. 4-0 now your score. Kicking the offering. That's up high. 3-1. Now you could imagine there's no question. Has to be a mound visit if he walks. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Well, that was a good-looking pitch out of Quinn Malone. So now a lot of question out of Here, Cancilla on what is now a payoff pitch. Cold! Strike 3 on the lower outside corner. And Quinn Malone, lucky to get the call out of that one. The bada now the batter. Man, the umpire not exactly the most consistent right now. But that one's going to go as strike number 1. 1 down here, bases remain loaded. 1 run already coming in here for the Mustangs to extend that lead up to 4. Shaker Heights with 2 hits and 8 errors defensively. That's not a winning recipe. That pitch up high again. You can imagine that English, Welsh, and Jarrell Johnson would have something to say. And this one's skied out. That has a lot of power behind it. That's going to get down, no question, and roll its way out in front of the home run wall. That'll score 1. That'll score 2. They'll hold the third run over at third. And it's going to be a 1-out RBI double for the Mustangs. 6-0 goes their score.
Now batting for the Mustangs, number 3, Murphy Kelly.
Well, first base is empty. Here's the pitch from Malone outside. So here in the bottom of the 5th, now Strongsville has doubled that lead from what was originally 3-0 to 6-0. The pitch is going to be right down Main Street, strike 1. 1-1 the count. Here to Murphy. RBI chance for him here with now Tapata off of second and Cancilla off of third. Or excuse me, Eckert, I believe is who that is, off of third. 2 balls, 1 strike here. That one misses the mark once more. 6-0, Strongsville now in the lead even further. Malone to 50 pitches, 29 of them hitting the zone. This one grounded over to Malachi Kranz. Throw on to first. They'll exchange it out for a run. "7-0 goes their score. Well, this one's gotten out of hand. Strongsville with a much more likely situation of winning this ball game. And again, errors, a main story of this one, where Shaker Heights now has 8, and we are far from over. Here's the pitch. Quinn Malone grounds this one. Isaac Lazar misses it. Aaron Neiman on the running grab and throw. It's going to be safe over there at first. Run number 8 comes in. And now, honestly, if one swing of the bat could end this ball game, if a mercy rule were to be intact. So that's going to go with an infield single over to the left side.
Number 5, Jake Becker.
Becker now the batter. Here's the pitch. That one way up high. This one's skied up. This should go as out number 3. And the wind getting it, and it'll drop. Here, Isaac Lazar, however, going to apply the tag over at third and get the out. I thought he actually evaded that on the slide, but it'll go there as out number 3. Well, Shaker Heights with a lot of work to do. They're now down 8-0 here as we go to the top of the 6th. 6 outs to work with, 8 runs to make up. Thanks for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum is on the call. 8-0 now your score after a 5-run fifth inning out of the Mustangs. Shaker Heights now with a lot of runs to make up. This one taken by Braden White. White is one of the 2 hits for Shaker Heights. On the other side, it's been 7 hits for Strongsville per the game changer. And then 8 errors for the Mustangs. This one going to escape through the 5-0 of the shortstop, Cancilla. Well, one step at a time for Shaker Heights as they'll get Braden White on over at first. Leo Pevnik would be the man up next. Kranz behind him. Those are your 3 guys due up to start things off in the top of the 6th. Shaker Heights doesn't want to be out of this one yet. Braden White makes it clear. So, error number 2 defensively for the Mustangs. Again, 8-0 the score. They need a big-time inning out of the offense if they want to be alive in this one. This one fouled back, hits off of the post, supporting the netting behind home plate. You could hear the cling off the metal. And here's the next offering, this one down low as well. The JV softball game actually in a closer contest. It's 7-0 back there over to the left side of the third base line. Strongsville also in the lead, so right now they're up 15-0 here at the ball field. And this one catching on the outside half, called strike number 2. 1-2 goes the count. Braden White taking his lead off of first as we speak. Pevnik taps the tip of the bat on to the middle of home plate. And now here's the pitch. This one down low, taken for ball 2. 2-2. Well, Braden White having a successful day. He's reached twice now. It's his first day, along with all of the seniors, including myself, in which we didn't have to go to school today. We're off on senior project, this being my senior project. Not sure what Braden White's off doing. Here, a swing and a miss off of Leo Pevnik. First strike 3. So, yeah, for a lot of these guys, including Malachi Kranz, you don't have to attend classes here in the month of May for Shaker Heights High School, but of course you have the commitment to Shaker Heights High School baseball, and here you are playing your game. Kranz 0 for 1 to start things off. The first pitch to him, down low in the dirt, handled by Kuhar. Braden White unable to advance further. Kranz walked earlier in the ball game, but yeah, other than that, went down. Here's the pitch. Malachi Kranz grounds this one. That's going to sneak through. Both Glinsky and Cancilla over there on the left side of the infield. And Malachi Kranz is aboard. The 2 seniors with hits. So it's going to be a runner on first and second with 1 down. Again, Shaker Heights with a lot of room to make up. The big head out of the freshman here would be a big-time momentum gainer. Shaker Heights with minimal momentum entering into this one. Isaac Lazar right now 0 for 2. He was a guy who struggled with strikeouts early on in the season. However, so far, no strikeouts to his name. Shaker as a whole has struck out 5 times. Once from Neiman, twice from Pevnik, then once from both Silver and Stolfus. On the other side, it's been Strongsville actually striking out 6 times. Ooh, wind coming in. Harsh little chill out of the wind. Here's the pitch. And that one there for strike 2. Isaac Lazar looking to not get that announcer jinx, as they call it, after I just called out his lack of strikeouts today. 1 down. Here's the 0-2 with 2 men aboard. Eventually, we are going to get time called. The pitchers have been quite timely. Sometimes we see out of a lot of high school pitchers the exact reason why the MLB implemented the pitch clock. Some pitchers just take too long. Here, Isaac Lazar sends this one up the middle. Double play ball would be in order. Isaac Lazar trying to beat him. He's off! Oh, just barely off of first is Farkas. And now here it looks like the umpire is going to talk this one over. Can imagine they change it. You gotta go with the initial ruling. And indeed, they rule Lazar safe. So, bases loaded with only one out. Shaker Heights with their best offensive opportunity on the day. Jeremy Silver, the sophomore, going to be due up now for the Red Raiders. Your left fielder in today's game, he struck out his first time up. But he is 0 for 2 as a whole. Here we're going to mount as it. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be right back with you. We're back with you here. Shaker Heights down by 8. First pitch to Jeremy Silver is off the mark. The Bada up to 93 pitches, 54 of them hitting the zone. But a much different story on the other side. 98 pitches in total, but 43 from Lewis, 55 from Malone. This one fouled off over to the right side, evening it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. One away here with the bases loaded. Lazar over at first. Kranz over at second. Braden White taking his lead off of third. And here's that 1-1 to Silver. Here a swing and a liner off in the right field, and the catch is made. Braden White here was thinking of tagging, but he holds off. And that's smart out of Braden White. Casey Robinson, also a guy you got to put a lot of your trust in on offense. You can't have that last out be at home, or else that would be a real kicker. So here, Casey Robinson, 0 for 1. Again, he came in late due to the AP testing. Walked in with both Malone and Stolfus. First pitch to Malone, gonna catch on the outside half. So now bases loaded, 2 away, 0-1 spot for Robinson. The pitch, he'll swing and miss on it. If Shaker Heights can once again not convert on runners in scoring position, this is going to be a rough talking to from the coaches. It's not going to be fun. Here's that 0-2. Robinson just holds off. That one off the plate and low. 1-2. Casey Robinson, a guy that can remain disciplined up at the plate. Again, he's the guy who's pitched the most out of the Red Raiders. Typically, he's the guy to pitch on Mondays or whenever the first game is of the week. But with this game getting moved out and with Casey Robinson in the AP testing, we can imagine he'll pitch in that next game against Strongsville, unless that's canceled to a different date other than Tuesday or Wednesday. Then that'd be Thursday. We're not covering the game Thursday. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss from Casey Robinson, and Shaker Heights' offense falls short once again. They're down by 8 with 3 outs left on offense, assuming that Strongsville doesn't mercy them here in the bottom of the 6th. They're up by 8. We'll be right back with you. We're back with you here. Shaker Heights down by 8 here at the bottom of the 6th. This first one fouled back into the near side netting. Kuhar, your catcher in today's game. 8-0 Strongsville in the lead out here in Strongsville, Ohio. With traffic, about a 50-minute drive from the Shaker Heights High School. Maybe a little closer to like 45 or 40. This one catching on the outside half. 1 and 2 it goes. Becker 0 for 3 here today. Or excuse me, that's Becker. Here's Kuhar. Again, the game changer not exactly where it needs to be. Here's the 1-2. Kuhar with an awkward looking swing and miss. And they're going to get the 4-pitch strikeout. Well, Quinn Malone isn't letting the poor inning number 5 come out and change him here. He's keeping this one where it needs to be, and out on the mound he starts things out in a new inning, fresh and clean. This one a tapper foul to the left of the third baseline. Lazar was making the motion to go ahead and grab it, but instead it's the head coach of the Mustangs to actually be the one to handle it. Malone gets delivered a new ball. We're right back in action. Malone to 60 pitches to this point. Of his 60, it's been 37 going as strikes. 0-1 on its way, and this one once again tapped foul to the Red Raider dugout side. Well, today Shaker Heights lucky to get this baseball game going due to the rough weather. It's now 57, 58 degrees out here. With the wind, we're looking at it feeling like 52, and back-to-back Ks out of Quinn Malone as he'll grab another swing and miss.
Now batting for the Mustangs, number 8, Evan Jerko.
On Farkas that time, so down goes Kuhar and Farkas. So now it's Jerko digging in now. Here's the first pitch of the new AB, up high on him. So of course it's not anything like Houston, LA, or Phoenix weather, but Shaker Heights making it work. Quinn Malone, really the one guy, well, including Casey Robinson, maybe a couple other guys out on the field that aren't wearing the longer sleeves underneath. Those are some of the true warriors of the sport. This one going to drop in foul territory just outside of the caging that separates the foul territory grass with the rock pathway. It's supposed to get raining out here in a couple of hours, so looks like, however, this one going to end just before that actually rolls in. Tomorrow going to be a much different story. That one's going to more than likely get rained out back home. This one a tapper. Quinn Malone scoops it up, makes the high arcing throw on the first. Made it a little closer than it had to be, but got out number 3. So Shaker Heights with 8 runs to come back from, and only 3 outs to do it. We'll see what they do in the final inning, inning number 7. Thanks for tuning in. Softball game just wrapped up over to the left of the third baseline. It was Strongsville beating the Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves 9-0 in the JV softball score. And now here, new pitcher in for Strongsville. It's Johnny Payne. Here's first pitch from Payne, up and away. Oh, this is just No, I'm just telling them what's happening around here. Here's the pitch outside. Oof, tough call. And that one just going to miss the mark. 2-1 goes the count. So Shaker Heights here today looks like they're going to move to 5-12. But again, this is a team they know they would be able to beat. It was a competitive first few innings. They're swinging a miss from Stolfus. So if they honestly did pitch Casey Robinson in that next game and actually got the bat going and got some offensive output, they could win a game against this Strongsville squad. This one up high. For Strongsville, on the other hand, this will be their double-digit win margin. This will be win number 10 for them, moving them to 10-7 on the year. This one taken by Eli Stolfus. He thought it was ball 4. And once again, an inconsistent umpire going to infuriate Eli Stolfus as he walks his way back. He's one of those guys you call consistently inconsistent. So sometimes you just gotta take a hack at a wild card pitch. Here's the first one to Michael Coxon, up high. Which again, the umpire has ruled strikes before. And the next offering to Coxon. This one grounded over, handled. And the throw on the first. The tag applied as he was pulled off the bag, and that's a great defensive effort out of Farkas. I mean, sometimes you just got to tip your cap, and that's one of those plays. And so Aaron Neiman, sometimes, or I guess frequently, we see Aaron Neiman being one of those last guys here in the late stages, which is never fun if you are one of those last outs. So here it's Aaron Neiman once again. Sometimes you can feel a lot of weight going on your shoulder in that last out situation. Here he'll take on a beauty of a pitch that works its way in at the very last moment. And now the 0-1 from Payne is going to be in there for strike 2. Umpire might want to get out of this one. That's what it's really looking like. Here's the 0-2 with 2 away, and now we get time called. More than likely most to the umpire's chagrin. And not sure what conversation was to be had there, but maybe just trying to get Aaron Neiman off the game. Now that 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3-pitch K from Aaron Neiman's bat, and Shaker Heights goes down in an 8-0 affair. So they will get the handshakes going. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Once again, a very poor performance on the offense of Shaker Heights. The defense not helping out either. Out there on the scoreboard, it says 6 errors. However, we have it tallied down on our game changer, 8 errors for the Red Raiders here today. So Shaker Heights as a whole, just a lot of things to clean up here today, and they move to 5-12 on the season. Again, it's the defensive changes. It's the fact that whenever one thing happens, it seems to spiral into a lot of mistakes out of the Shaker Heights team, and specifically on offense. Same kind of thing. If one guy strikes out, the remainder of the offensive lineup just seems to struggle after that, and Shaker Heights just cannot let that go. They need to play a full 7-inning game and play it well. Again, Shaker Heights is going to be able to beat Strongsville with guys like Casey Robinson out on the mound. If Wesley Lewis maybe went a little bit further, he pitched only 43 through 2 innings. He was pitching quite well, and Shaker Heights' Quinn Malone was not able to replicate that kind of success. So thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We are supposed to call that game tomorrow against Strongsville, but that is depending on the weather. Odds are very well could get rained out. Thank you for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum here with the Shaker Heights Athletic Department in Strongsville, Ohio. Strongsville wins 8-0.